buddy. What's going on, guys? So, last couple of days have been hell. And let me explain why. So, the last video you guys saw that I was driving through the snowstorm, coming out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, went down to Denver, picked up a load there, brought that to Pennsylvania. My next load from absolute hell. Picked up at a shipper in Pennsylvania. Spent almost 7 hours at the shipper. Destroyed my clock. So now, that started the mess. With them taking 7 hours, that load now became late. There was absolute no chance of it getting to its destination on time. So now this particular load was a 2-stop drop. So the following morning, I start driving, I get to the first stop. Get there late at night, get backed up to the door. They ended up taking me right away. They knew the situation, that the shipper took forever and that it was completely their fault. I got it there as fast as I could. And keep in mind, it's a 2-stop drop. So now I'm backed up to the door. You could feel them unloading the trailer. I didn't think much of it. I'm sitting in the truck, I'm watching, a show on Netflix. And a couple hours go by. Took him about 2.5 hours. Guy comes up to the door, hands me the paperwork, says, "Hey, you're all set." Okay. So I was going to spend the night there at that receiver because my clock was just about done. And then the following morning, I had 100 miles left to the second receiver, the final stop. So I pull away from the door, I get out of the truck, I go to the back, and I look. My trailer is completely empty. Now I had 39,000 pounds of product on this trailer. They were only supposed to take 14,000 pounds. My trailer is empty. So I back the door back into the dock, or the truck back into the dock. I go inside, the guy looks at me all weird, he goes, "What's the matter?" I says, "Well, I'm about to ruin your night." This truck was a 2-stop drop. You guys were only supposed to take 14,000 pounds off this truck. I says, "I handed you the paperwork. You guys have the paperwork. You took the whole entire trailer." So now the guy's flipping out. There's only like 2 or 3 people working that night. Now they got to decipher what part of it is theirs and what part of it isn't, and then reload what isn't theirs. Getting paid by the hour. Detention pay is great. So they reload the trailer, a couple hours it takes them, and they come back out. They said, "Oh, I think we have it all set." I said, "What do you mean you think?" He goes, "We had to go through it, we had to figure out what was what." He goes, "We think we got it all back on the trailer." Okay. I'm just a driver. I don't know what to tell you. So I take the paperwork, I pull out, I shut the doors, I reseal it with the second seal, and I park for the night. Next morning I wake up, take off up to the final. Now I'm told by dispatch, head right into the final because they're taking us. Okay. I pull in, Security guard comes out. Now, mind you, this was on October 16th. Security guard comes out, hands me back my paperwork, and says, your next appointment date is October 23rd at 12:30 a.m. I started laughing. Yeah, okay. So I notified dispatch as to what was going on. I was told I had to leave the property because you couldn't stay there. So I go in, U-turn, come back out, and I'm parked on the side of the road. And I'm communicating with dispatch. They're trying to pull some strings to get them to take this load now, blah, blah, blah. I'm just waiting to hear what I'm supposed to do. Next thing you know, the town sheriff pulls up behind me, lights and all, comes up to the truck, and I rolled down the window. I pretty much had my head out the window. I'm talking to this guy. And, you know, it was one of those cops that kind of takes their job a little bit too fucking serious. So I'm parked on the side of the road. And I'm just, like I said, it's a side street. Not a whole shit ton of traffic. Wasn't in anybody's way. Yes, there were signs that says no parking, and I probably shouldn't have been parked there, but I was out of the way, wasn't in anybody's path driving or anything. Wasn't that big of a deal. And I explained to him the situation. So I'm just waiting to find out what I'm doing. Cop didn't give a rat's ass. I didn't get any tickets or anything like that, but he let me go. So I sent a message to dispatch. I says, listen, I'm going to a truck stop. I says, I'm getting tossed out of here. 8 miles down the road, I go to a truck stop. I get out. There's a restaurant. I go in, get something to eat, sit down, relax. Come back out to the truck. About 45 minutes later, they tell me that we have a terminal in Columbus, Ohio, and that they wanted me to take the trailer down there. Okay. They're paying me for it, so it's just added miles to the load. So I take the trailer down to I've refilled the reefer and take our trailer down to our facility. But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, whoever delivers this load on the 23rd is in for one hell of a surprise. Because they're supposed to load, 25,000 pounds back onto this truck? I don't think there was half of that. I think total there was 4 pallets. And I could tell by the weight. I mean, I've got enough experience. I could tell by the weight of how this truck is operating. There was not 25,000 pounds in that trailer. Not my problem anymore. So I dropped the trailer off, left the paperwork with it, and I filled up the reefer before I got there. So I did my part. So then they sent me another load, leaving Ohio, going down to North Carolina. So I go get an empty trailer, go over to the shipper, and now I was under the impression it was a live load. Well, once again, I was wrong. So she tells me to back the trailer up to a certain door 3 or whatever, leave it there, and then go get my loaded trailer. Okay. So I go down, and I'm looking at the paperwork, I'm looking at the trailer. So, man, something's not adding up. I mean, I have a feeling something's just not right. So I walk up to this trailer, I'm inspecting the shit out of it, everything's perfectly fine. Okay. I get back in the truck and I'm doing paperwork and computer work, and that's when it hit me that the trailer number on the paperwork isn't matching the trailer that I'm hooked up to. It's off by a few numbers. Like the last 3 numbers on the paperwork was 861, but the trailer I have is 681. So I'm looking around. It's the only trailer that's ours that's loaded. So, well, you know, the numbers are really close. I wonder if they just screwed up the paperwork. So I take the trailer up front, go to the shipping office, and I says, hey, something's not right with the paperwork. The trailer number is off. And so the lady rips up the paperwork. She's got to redo the whole thing. 20 minutes later, I finally get the right paperwork. And pull out of there. Now, coming down to 77, you know, going from southern tier of Ohio down to North Carolina. And coming down a hill, 7% grade. Doing about 65, 66 miles an hour. Nobody in front of me. I mean, there was, but they're way up where I didn't have to worry about it. So we're coming down, and then there's a right-hand curve. Well, there's a Swift truck on the right side, in the right lane. I was in the right lane. Nobody's around me. So all of a sudden, a car comes up, passes me, cuts me off, goes up, gets right up on the ass of the shift trailer. Shift hits his brakes. The car swerves, goes into the left lane. I moved over to the left lane because I knew I was going to end up passing Swift. And all of a sudden, coming around that bend, blind turn, bam, traffic's at a dead stop. The car in front of me locks up his brakes. I don't think I've ever hit the brakes so hard in a vehicle in my entire life. Now, mind you, the load that I have is 44,200 pounds. So I'm 8,000 pounds shy of being my max weight, 800 pounds. 44,200 pounds, and I'm coming to a dead stop with cars that are locking up their brakes in front of me. Needless to say, I left a 150-foot mark on the 77 South. Luckily enough, I came to a complete stop and didn't hit anybody. Nobody hit me. There was an accident up on the right-hand shoulder. Wasn't even on the road. And traffic was backed up for half a mile at a complete stop. Shortly after all that went down, I ended up pulling into a Love's. I said, you know what? I need a break. Just wait. The last few days has just been a day from hell. So I went in, I took a shower, I sat down, I got something to eat. I had plenty of time with this load. And I'm like, I just got to breathe. The last few days have just been hell. I mean, this is why I haven't really posted a video. It's just, everything is just going nuts. And it got me thinking. You know, I was talking to Trucker Will about this. And it's like, you know, we post these videos, you know, on YouTube of us driving. And, you know, you see, you know, like my vlogs where I have, you know, video footage of, you know, the road and sceneries and stuff. And, you know, we sit here and talk about our day-to-day events. You know, some drivers, they post stuff every single day. And I'd like to be one of those drivers, but sometimes it's just way too freaking hard. You know, trying to squeeze in, you know, I do at least 10 and a half hours of driving. I run my clock. So by the time I get done driving, you know, I still got to get something to eat. I still got to take a shower. I still got to sleep because I got to turn around and do this again tomorrow. So, you know, we were talking about how, you know, us YouTubers, you know, we make it look easy. And it got me thinking. I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that make truck driving this career out to be what it isn't. Yes, it is a great career. Yes, you can make some serious money at it. I personally love the job. I can't see myself doing anything else. Now, with that being said, you guys need to understand that there are a lot of headaches to this job. Once you get comfortable with how truck driving works, as far as the computer work, the paperwork, how to operate the truck in itself, how to inspect the truck, make sure it's safe to be on the road, make sure your legal weights. There's a million different things that can go wrong in this industry. And very few of us really show what it's truly like out here. We may show like an accident scene or something that you typically don't see on a day-to-day basis. And, we show what could happen. Somebody's playing around on their phone, or somebody that, didn't get enough sleep and they're forcing themselves to drive, and, all this other stuff. And, we just show you the aftermath, the accident scene as we're driving by it. And, we speculate, what could have happened, And 9 out of 10 times, everybody immediately goes right to, he must have been playing on his phone. Maybe he had a heart attack. Maybe he had a medical condition. It could have been a million things. Maybe it was a mechanical failure. If he blew the left steer or something like that and it shot him off the road. You just don't know. Maybe there was an accident scene up ahead and he was coming around a blind curve and all of a sudden traffic was at a dead stop and he reacted by going off the road, flipping the truck over. You just never know. So, like I said, a lot of speculation out there, but we don't really show what it's truly like out here. And it got me thinking that I'm going to start recording this stuff. And now, what's funny about this is that when I record on a regular basis, everything goes nice and smooth. It's when I decide, I'm going to take a break for a couple of days, from recording and, stuff like that and editing. When I decide to take a break is when everything goes to shit. So, I think what I'm going to do from now on is record everything. I'm going to record when I'm at the shippers and the receivers. I'm going to record, while I'm out on the road. My cameras are always going. My cameras run non-stop. So, hopefully, things will start to smoothen out. But we'll see. You guys are going to start seeing on my channel what it's really like out here. Not just the, beautiful scenery and, the driving and, me shooting the shit with you. But I'm going to start recording all of it. It's going to work. Now, I'm currently in North Carolina. I'm at the receiver. My appointment time was at 4:15. It's now 7:30. And I'm still backed up to the dock. By the sounds of it, they're unloading one pallet at a time and checking it in. Then they grab the next pallet and they count it and they check it in. And they grab the next pallet. So we're going to be here for a little bit. Now our next load picks up down here. Asheboro, North Carolina. And it's a Hershey load, so it's going up to Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's our next load. So, once they get done unloading this trailer, I'm going to pull out of here, go back up front, park, do my paperwork, computer work, and we'll start our next video from there on what we go through. You guys are going to start getting it all. And that's that, folks. I'll see you soon.